Hi everyone, this is Karen. Thank you for tuning in with me today. I'm going to be guiding you through a yoga practice followed by a seated meditation. So have a cushion nearby to prop yourself up on, or if a chair is more comfortable, a chair works just fine. So have something nearby. And then start for now in an easy seated pose with your hands down on your knees. Just grounding ourselves down into the space of our bodies, into the space of our breath. And let your eyes close for a moment. And take time to really feel the ground underneath you. Start to feel your sits bones expanding and lengthening across the space of your mat underneath you so that you feel rooted, so that you feel anchored down in the space of your body. And maintaining that connection to the ground, start to become aware of your spine lengthening up through the crown of the head, adding that vertical dimension. Perhaps feeling like someone's pulling you upwards from the crown of your head. And feeling all that stability and all of that length up through your spine. Let's take a few deep breaths together. Breathing in through your nose. Start by breathing out of the mouth. With a slight sigh, exhaling everything out of your space, coming fully into the space of your body. Take another big inhale in through the nose. Let it fall out of your mouth. And taking one more big inhale. Filling up with breath and exhale out of the mouth. Good, and adding in the shoulders. Inhale, bring the shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, let them fall. Couple more, inhale. Exhale with the sigh. And one more, inhale. Exhale. And adding in some circles through the shoulders, inhaling the shoulders up towards the ears, back and down with your exhale. Inhaling shoulders up, exhaling the shoulders down and around. Feel some fluidity in the shoulders, maybe all the way down into the arms and the hands. Maybe allowing the torso to get involved here a little bit. As you find this fluidity in the shoulders. And inviting the synchronization of your movements with your breath. Slowly come back to a neutral position. Feel into the shoulders, feel any effects of that release through the shoulders, letting everything settle, feeling all that space between your ears and your shoulders. Drop your right ear over towards your right shoulder, feeling into a gentle side stretch. Bring your right arm overhead and just hook on gently to your left ear, creating slight stretch there, slight traction with your hand, feeling into that stretch through the left side of the neck. Take a couple deep breaths here. And then release your right hand. Come back to neutral. Let your left ear fall towards your left shoulder. Bring your left arm up and around over to your right ear. And a couple of deep breaths here. Not too much sensation that you can't breathe normally. Just enough where you feel like you can start to melt into that stretch a little bit. Exhale and release. Come back to neutral. Let your chin dip down towards your chest. Bring your arms behind you, clasp your hands behind your back. And press your hands away from your body towards the wall behind you. Deep breath. And releasing the hands down. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Keep the rootedness down through your sits bones as you lengthen your hands up towards the sky. Be gazing upwards, not throwing your head back, but just gazing upwards towards the hands, feeling the length through the torso. Gently pulling the belly in, expanding through the front of the body slightly. Take your biggest breath yet. Inhale and fill up with breath. And as you exhale, really press very slowly down and away. Feel like you're moving through molasses, feeling all that resistance through space as your arms come all the way down. Might feel some tingling through the hands, through the fingers. Let the hands rest for a moment on the knees. And bring your right hand down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen your left arm up overhead, creating a big lateral side stretch through the left side of the body. Continuing to breathe expansively into the torso. Feeling into that space in between the ribs. Let your left arm drop. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Gazing up if it's okay with the neck. If not, you can just gaze downwards. And exhale. Right hand release. And we'll make our way onto hands and knees. So navigate yourself so that you're on all fours. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. First, find that length through the tailbone. Feel your neutral spine from your tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Feel how long your tailbone can be, how long your spine can be. Exhale all the air out. Gently pull the belly up and in. And then inhale. Slightly arch the spine, gaze upwards with your eyes, press away with your hands, and exhale, pull the belly in around the spine. Press into the mat, pull the belly in, inhale, arch the spine. Take a few rounds here of cat-cow. Synchronizing the breath with your movement. Exhaling, pull the belly up to the spine. Press the heels of the hands into the mat. Couple more. And then come back to neutral position. Send the hips over to the right, look over the right shoulder, moving the hips laterally here, side to side, hips left, and hips to the right. And then let your body move here intuitively a little bit, maybe doing some big hip circles, letting the elbows be fluid here, letting the body just move. And an intuitive cat, softening through the neck and the jaw. And just starting to inwardly notice how your body needs to move. Right now, in this moment, allowing for that movement to spontaneously arise. And then coming back to neutral. Feel that nice long spine. Left hand down, inhale. Lift your right arm up, just a very easy twist. And then we'll thread the right arm underneath the left. Bringing the right shoulder down to the ground. And then if you'd like to move that left hand, maybe so it's a little further out, supporting you here for this twist of the torso. Gazing upwards, feeling that nice stretch through the right shoulder, the right side of the neck. And then push yourself back up. Both hands down. Other side, right hand planting on the mat. Inhale, stretch your left arm up. And thread your left arm underneath your right. And just experiment with the placement of your right hand. So you're using your right hand to press down into the floor, into the mat, creating a little bit more traction if you like. Keeping the hips facing forward, square here. And slightly gazing up. Breathing in and breathing out. See if you can keep your breath slow and even. And then press your way back up. Good. And preparing for our downward facing dog. Feel free to take that wide downward facing dog if you like. Spreading the feet out wider than your mat. Maybe big toes on the mat. Feeling free to also rotate the hands slightly out, maybe 45 degrees, spreading the fingers wide, giving yourself a lot of space here in this downward dog. Space through the shoulders, space through the pelvis. And take a moment as you arrive here just to play. You might bring the heels to one side and then the other. Or experiment with bending the knees so that you feel all that nice length through your spine. And then maybe starting to send the heels again down towards the ground, feeling into that stretch through the back of your legs. As long as you can keep your spine nice and long as you straighten the legs, slightly pulling the belly in, and gazing up towards your navel. And then bringing the feet back to more hip width distance apart. Bringing the hands back so they're shoulder width apart. We're just going to roll forward into our plank. So from downward facing dog, take an inhale breath, come forward into plank. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale. Inhale to plank. This time hold your plank. If you need to, come down on your knees. Otherwise, press the balls of the feet as if you're pressing the back edge of your mat backwards through space. Same time, pull your belly in, pull your abdominal muscles up towards the back of the body. Feel that slight rounding through the back. Pull the belly in. Breathe. And then lower down onto the knees, tops of the feet flat. It's going to lower down chin and chest. So bend the elbows, keep the elbows in close. And come down nice and slow, chin and chest on the floor. And then press yourself forward onto your belly. Activate through the legs. The fingertips still right underneath the shoulders here. Activate through the legs. Inhale and lift up, low cobra here until you feel that activation of stretch. Activation, strengthening of your lower back here. Even if you're just coming up a couple of inches, feeling that activation, pressing the feet into the floor. Keeping your head in line with your heart, so not throwing the head back, just slightly gazing upwards. Inhale, lift. And slowly lower, come back down. Good, press your hands into the ground, pull your belly in, come up hands and knees, and then send your hips down to your heels, child's pose. And then if there's any pressure in your lower back, feel free to open up your knees wider. Or letting the arms just rest down by your side for a moment. One more deep breath here, letting yourself rest and feel the ground underneath you. And then coming back onto hands and knees. Tucking your toes, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Deep breaths as you send your hips up towards the ceiling, your heels down towards the ground, feeling all the length through the back of the body, head, jaw, relax. One more deep breath. And then look forward. Just cross your legs underneath you. Sitting down, and then bringing your feet out in front of you, feet on the ground. Scoot them away from your hips. Stretch your arms forward out in front of you. Pull your lower belly in. And just roll your way down. Imagine you're coming down vertebrae by vertebrae, nice and slowly, all the way down to the ground. Scoot your heels up a few inches closer to your hips, preparing for our bridge pose. Feel your lower back flush against the mat to begin with. Press your hands down into the ground underneath you. Take an inhale breath. And lift your hips up off the ground, pressing and squeezing your thighs, inner thighs, so the legs don't come apart. Pressing the hands down as you feel your hips lift. You can feel free to clasp the hands underneath, walk your shoulders underneath you to create a little bit more of an arch here through the spine. Otherwise, just pressing your hands down into the ground, pressing down through the feet, lifting up through the hips. And slowly lower, come back down. And if you like, bringing the knees in towards your chest for a moment. Maybe rocking around side to side. And then letting the knees fall over to the right, bringing your arms out to a T, taking just a gentle twist here. Gazing out over your left arm, left shoulder for a moment. Take a couple of deep breaths. And the hands can be like cactus arms if you like, just experimenting with where the arms want to land. And then bringing the knees in again. And just flattening out through the pelvis, bringing the knees in, squaring off, and then letting the knees just drop over to the left. If you like to use your left arm against the knees, feel free to do that, creating a nice twist here through the spine. Maybe gazing out over your right shoulder. And then drawing the knees back into center. Placing the feet down on the ground and then extending the legs out for a moment. Letting the arms relax down by your sides. Just take a moment here in Savasana, resting, letting your body completely settle into the ground. And let your eyes close. And become aware of gravity holding you here on the ground. And feel that you can begin to soften through your whole body, allowing your muscles to relax away from the bone. Softening into the ground here. And letting your body melt for a moment into the space that you created through our yoga practice. And letting the hips soften and settle all the way down through the legs and the feet. as you're ready, drawing the knees into your chest and dropping the knees over to the right, coming into fetal position on your right side for a moment. Transitioning back up to seated, bringing your cheek to rest on your right arm. And then pushing yourself back up to seated. And we'll just take a moment to arrange our space for our seated meditation, bringing your cushion nearby. Just allowing yourself to be propped up with your hips higher than your knees. Or if you have a chair to sit in, go ahead and get seated in your chair with your feet on the ground. And let the breath just fall out of your mouth for a moment here as you feel into your nice tall spine again, the support of your sits bones underneath you. And start to deepen your breath, matching your inhales and your exhales. Perhaps counting on your inhale to a slow count of 3 or 4. And then matching that on your exhale. And starting to settle into a rhythm to your breath. And allowing this rhythm to just soothe you into stillness. Keeping your attention focused on that nice, easy rhythm of breath. And feeling into your physical body now as you continue to let the breath flow through the space of the body. Feel that your head is sitting over the space of the shoulders and down over the hips. Take note of the front and the back of the body, feeling that you're sitting right there in the center of yourself, front to back. And feel into any areas that might need a little extra softening, allowing your breath and your awareness to soften into those spaces, maybe the jaw and shoulders. Softening the space around the heart and the lungs. And let your awareness now drop down into the space of your heart. And if you need any help, you can tap with your fingers down through the sides of the face and the temples, down through the jaw, down through the throat, to the chest. Tapping on the space of the heart, bringing your awareness there. And if you'd like, placing one hand over the other on top of the space of the heart. Increasing the presence of your awareness there as you drop down and anchor yourself right there in the space of your chest. Perhaps feeling into the beating of your heart. Allowing space for any emotions that might surface there to just float through the space of your awareness. And taking a moment to attune to the quality of love inside your chest, inside your heart. And it doesn't have to be a huge feeling, activating that spark of your love inside your chest. Perhaps thinking of someone or something that ignites that feeling inside, and then allowing that person to slip away and just stay with the feeling. Allowing that quality of love to expand within the space of your heart. And breathing into that quality of love. And then sliding your awareness down your torso. Using your hands, sliding your hands all the way down through the hip creases and down onto the knees. And then traveling your awareness down even more into the lower legs and all the way down into the space of your feet. And feel that you can inhabit your feet from the heel all the way through the soles of the feet and the toes. So you feel like you're really inhabiting, experiencing the space of the feet. And adjusting to being this far down in the space of your body. And it can help to visualize roots growing down through the soles of the feet, down into the space of the earth underneath you. Feeling those roots dig down into the space of the earth. Connecting and tethering you to the ground underneath you, nourishing you. with the presence of the earth beneath you. Continuing to breathe and letting your breath adjust to being this far down in the space of your body. Taking this moment to rest in your fully grounded presence. And drawing some of that nourishment up into the space of your pelvis, your womb space, male or female. Feeling into that womb space of your lower abdomen, perhaps placing your hands there if you like. And attuning to the quality of your vitality, your inherent creativity. And your instinctual knowing deep within the space of your pelvis and your womb center. Taking a moment to rest and breathe into this space. And then releasing the hands back down to the knees. Let your awareness travel back up through the space of the heart, touching in for a moment to the heart space, igniting again that quality of love inside the space of your heart. And then moving your awareness upwards into the space of the mind. And you might notice that the mind is stilled. From being so deeply grounded in the space of the body, in the space of the breath. So let yourself rest for a moment in that stillness. It might be buzzing with a certain vibrancy. And perhaps even receiving any insight or images or thoughts just bubbling forth from this vibrant stillness. taking a moment to connect all of these different centers within your body, including your grounded presence, coming back into the space of your whole body all at once. And see if you can experience within the space of your whole body your fundamental wholeness and the fundamental unity of your experience. As we touch into our own fundamental wholeness, our whole-bodied wholeness, we touch into that wisdom dimension of ourselves, our deep inner knowing. And allow yourself to rest here in the space of your inner knowing. A couple of moments. Taking another big breath in through the nose, filling up with your breath. Let that breath fall out of your mouth. And slowly bring your hands into your heart center. Maybe rubbing the hands together, feeling the fullness again of your physical presence, your physical body. And then bring the hands into your heart center, gently dipping your chin to your chest, allowing yourself to tuck away into your heart space anything that you want to take from your time today in your practice. And may you take this peace and this calm as well as this vitality, this vibrant stillness, as well as your deep sense of inner knowing out into your day, out into your week. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. And the light in me honors and acknowledges the light inside of you. Namaste.